Hello, welcome to Code with Srini. This is a series of tutorials about building a simple HTML5 CSS3 web page. In the last series, we built a simple navigation bar using Flexbox container. Two boxes along with the coming soon days counter. The days counter is not interactive, it doesn't count down the days, but it's just a placeholder for future DOM manipulation. Okay, so let's just start building the code. In the header bar, this is the navigation that we completed. So inside the header, we need to add few more things like section, and we can ID that as headshot or hero or banner or whatever, whichever name you like, but I just like to keep it as headshot. And then let's have article. Let's have two articles, so two separate sections of page. So one will be the text information, the other will be the countdown boxes, right? So two articles. Now in this article we will have something like h1 coming soon. Well, let's just call it as basic HTML5 CSS3 web page. That'll sound nice actually. And then let's add a paragraph that has lorem ipsum. Okay, so lorem ipsum text up to this, and another paragraph with the same ipsum text. Let's have a few more text to fill that up. It's kind of small. Let's add some more text. Let's look how it looks like. No, this one. Yeah, we have some text information here. We need to style them up. And we have two block elements, so it should align side by side like we see in here. We got headshot and the article. So let's just target this. We need to target headshot and then article, and then separate them into two equal boxes side by side. So let's just get ready. So let's just start styling the headshot boxes. And for that we need to style like headshot styling, and section with headshot, whereas the section is the element and headshot is the ID. ID is always referred as hash, and class is always referred as dot, like the one you see in the navbar. The section, let's call it that as display flex, and then justify content space evenly. In earlier things we have seen space between, but here we are going to space it evenly, so it will space evenly across, evenly horizontally. So flex wrap as wrap, in case if you shrink the viewport it will wrap. There's some issue, we will overcome the issue later on, but let's just keep on styling. Now let's target the headshot articles. Now this rule set will target, let's just highlight over here, will target both the article tags, this one as well as this one. So let's just call this right side box for now, with h1 tag. Okay, we do have some issues. We'll overcome that shortly. And with the shorthand property of flex, let's just default it to flex 1, which means flex grow as 1, so equally distribute them with the two boxes. So we have the right side, so left side and the right side. Now we need some padding or margin at the top. We need some spacing between the navbar and the actual headshot content. For that we can apply margin top. Let's just see we don't have margin collapsing concept coming under. Yeah, it works beautifully. So we just keep the margin as of now. Now we need to apply the padding, but no, the padding is working fine. So far it works fine. So we have two separate boxes side by side. We need to apply padding for this box alone, so that the text won't be touching the right side box so closely. We just need some spacing between the text and the right side box. So to do that, we need to target the first article, which is article of pseudo class of first child, which will target the first article child. So this rule set will apply. We'll select this rule set will target the first article of the headshot section. In there, we need to apply the padding right. Okay, padding right of 4 em rem. Bingo, we got it. So we got 4 rem of space between the right side box and the paragraph just shifted down beautifully. So we don't need extra work done here. So it's all done properly. Now we also need to target the h1 tag. For that, h1, we need to apply color of white for the color of white for h1 as well as the paragraph. So color white, which is triple F, and we got it. We need to apply color of white for paragraph as well, I believe. So, oh, is it like that? Yes, we need to apply color white for the paragraph. So to do that, we can copy this and create another rule set. Paragraph done. So color white is applied for both, and then we need to adjust the size of the h1 tag or element. Font size 2 rem. That's sufficient. Excellent. So this one looks more or less similar to the one we have, because the font is a bit bigger. No, let's just say that let it be bigger. Margin of 0 to control the spacing. Yes, actually we can. Okay, so we need to control the margin for the paragraph as well. Margin top somewhat 5 pixels. 0. Okay, now this one looks good. Let's play with the font a little bit. Right, so we have kind of a hero text and then some information about the hero text and then more information about our hero text. The more info should be in a small font. To do that, we can apply a tag called small, and then just make it period, small. Let's just have a font size of 0.8 rem. Okay, so you see how this falls well. And then the line height is quite abnormal for this one. We need to set the line height. So to do that, we need to target the last paragraph, which is a last child. So this rule set will apply. I think we're making a mistake. Okay, this rule set we need to apply styling for this paragraph, which is a last child of the first article. The first article is this, the second article is this, the last child of this first article is this paragraph. So we need to write something a bit special. First child of the last paragraph, and set the line height to 1. It's done. Is it working? Okay, let's just check with background. Right. Yeah, it targets. Yeah, it targets good. 0.5. Great. So we got that working. Now we are customizing line height. Now next part is we need to customize. We need to come up with a the countdown box. To do that, we need to work on the right side box article. Okay. Now again, like we have done in the navbar, for the navbar, we can use the ULLI elements. Create a UL element with an ID of countdown container and LI with 8 break rule and a span days. I'll copy this over and over. Hours, minutes and seconds. So hours, minutes, seconds. So we need to do a flexbox styling so that it will be a bit easier to work on. Now let's move on to the countdown styling. Starting off, hang on a second, I made a mistake. Countdown container. So countdown container, we need to customize that. Resetting. No, I don't need to reset the UL because it's already done in the top, which we have seen here. All the UL element has been reset. Well, I think the bottom padding is not reset, so I will do a reset again and give it a display of flex. But before that, I like to see how it looks. It looks like this. Okay, so this box when building, when we start to build, looks like this. Okay, so once we convert them into a flex box, it looks like this. Now we need to work more on the LI element. We need to work more on LI and style them and make it look like the one in the final result. So the flex box and then justified content. No, we don't apply. We don't need to apply these things now. We'll apply it later on. And let's work on the LI elements. Let's target the LI element and style them to look like the one we have. 80 pixel. We don't have height, just the width. And background 1.2 rem 0. No. Background with styling of EEE, which is a light gray, and then margin. No, let's just apply the background first and see how the margin works. This is enough. We'll just see how it looks. Okay, it looks like it's coming up. Now we need to align the text and give it a little bit of margin. Align the text centrally and then give a little bit of margin. So margin 0, top and bottom is 0, left and right is 2 pixels, and text align center. Okay, it looks more or less like this. Let's style a few more things to make it look nice. Now we give margin, text line center. Let's give some padding for the top. Padding 1.2. Now let's give 1 rem, and the rights. Okay, let's give just 1 rem and see how it looks. Something's amiss here, which is not actually looking good. What's happening? Forgot to mention the font. Wait. Bold. Okay, and then font size in relative to the root size, which is 0.8 rem. Okay, looks a bit more like it. Now let's apply the padding little bit and then reduce the left and right. So top and bottom looks 1.2 rem and the left and right is 0. Okay, it looks like little bit okayish. Now this one looks a bit odd. Okay, let's target the span element and then modify it. Looks right. The font size, we don't need to change font size here. Let's change the font size for the span element, which is this one. Reduce the size a bit. Font size as 0.5 rem. Let's see how it looks. Cool. Looks nice, but it's not centering properly. Is it because of these prices? Yeah, that's because of the space. I don't know why it shouldn't really. Okay, so we got it. Now we need to push this timer, the countdown, to this far end. To do that, display flex, justify content, flex end is the property. Bingo, that's done. Another thing is we can apply hover effect on the countdown. Something like if you hover on the li element, we can change the background to tomato, which is a red accent. It works, and then the font to a white color. Okay, so yeah, looks beautiful. Now let's add the transition effect. Point 2-second background ease in out. And then for the color as well. Looks kind of neat. Okay, so once we are done that, we can move on to create these 2 bits and the header section is done. How to do that? This one is a little bit a tricky part because we need to create a separate element. Initially, I thought of adding two li elements and create a button like this, but it failed. It didn't work as I expected. So I happen to create a new div, call it as countdown info container, and then apply styling. It will have a child of free of charge, I guess that's the wordings, and then a button that says get started for free. This all will be uppercase, so I don't bother about typing it like this. So totally free of charge and get started, I guess. So okay, so let's just style this countdown info timer info styling. So style, and then the countdown info timer, which is a div of hash. Now let's apply float right, width of some 300 pixels. That's my wild guess, because we have four li elements with the width of 80, which is 4 cross 80 for its 24, so 240 pixels. With factoring the margin of 2 pixels, it will come around 300. So see, yep, coming close to 300. We need a little bit of styling to accommodate that information. Right, now display as flex for the child elements, and justify content will be space between. Why? Because because we need a space between this one and that one, the button, the info and the button. Okay, so let's style up the span element, which is the information text, that has a color of white and then a font size of 0.8 rem. It should look like the one we have. Okay, fine, it works. And then we need to style the button as well, which is a color of white, background of red accent. The border should be 0 because this button looks a bit odd. Now we set the border to 0, the border is gone, and it's kind of a flat button look and feel. And on top of that, to make the button a bit bigger, we can apply padding to it. So padding comes around 0.5 rem for the top, on the right and left 0.2 rem. So let's see how it looks. Neat. Okay, so also we can add border radius of 25 pixels to look rounded, yeah, and cursor with a pointer, and then font size a little bit bigger, 1 rem. I guess something's breaking up, but that's fine. Let's just add some more width to the info container and see how it looks. Great, yeah, we are finally getting something. 330, so 330 pixels. I want to say, yeah, it works. And getting started font looks similar, so we don't need to worry about that. Finally, we need to set the flex, shorthand flex property with flex grow of 1 and shrink of 0, and flex basis, which is a width of auto. So that's done. And then we need to give a hover action to the button. Hover action is color of background color will be, the color is the usual bootstrap color, and then the background with white. What happens? It works, but we need some transition effect to give it a look. We already have some transition done here, so what we'll do is we'll just copy them, paste them. Successfully we completed the header section. The next bit will be adding an image and separating the boxes using floats. Thank you for watching and keep updated. Thank you. Keep visiting my channel for more videos like this. Thank you. Bye-bye.